Hello, welcome back to our Let's Play series. So today, I'm gonna continue the work on my house here, and today I've decided that I'm gonna talk about MINECON. Yeah, so here we go, it's nighttime. Yep. So I actually did watch MINECON, and I watched it last year too, and last year was kind of weird. They had the YouTuber hosts. I didn't know who any of them were, so they interrupted it with these little games that they made, and I'd say they were pretty good, except for the what was the one guy? I forgot his name, but he did something where he suspended them in bee costumes, and they were supposed to pick blocks off of flowers. No. You know, yeah, that was just odd. That was obviously targeted towards younger audiences, but like as an older audience, I don't think that was the greatest thing ever. It's 14 dirt. Yeah, so other than that, last year, like the Nether update was, like that was a phenomenal announcement. Like every year I watch MineCon, I always end up yelling yes really loudly because it's just so cool. Like everything they do is just amazing. So this year I was watching it, and I remember when they started it right off the bat with a update section. Like, that's exciting. Updates are exciting. And literally the first thing that they said is, you know, you've been waiting for this for a long time, and we know the community's really wanting it. And I was like on the edge of my beanbag chair, and I was like, oh, okay, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna announce the end update? Because that would, if they do, that would be pretty lame, actually. And then they announced the Caves and Cliffs update, and I was like, is it real? Is this reality? Is this real life? Is just this fantasy? That was like, I got up from the chair and started yelling yes really loudly. Like, I was yelling really loud because my sister heard me from upstairs and came downstairs to see what I was yelling about. Yeah, and the cave update so far, like, I'm not gonna keep track of anything that's happening this year because I want it to be a surprise. But like, you know, I couldn't resist MineCon. My curiosity is too great. But yeah, either way, during MineCon, so they started it right off the bat with the Lush Cave, which is a new cave biome. And the Lush Cave, I think, is gonna be my favorite things to be added ever. It's so pretty. I'm so excited for the Lush Cave, and then they went on to announce right after that, what was it? After that they announced the drip leaf plants, which is cool and all. I don't think I'll use it that much, but it's good for parkour people. And then they announced the Warden, and like the Warden, I am excited for the Warden. Like, the Warden is cool, and like, I have some comments about it, but the Warden is so exciting to me because we've had an increase of power, but the game is at kind of a point in which the mobs that exist aren't powerful enough to deal any sort of damage whatsoever to someone in netherite armor. Like the Ravager is pretty powerful, and that was a pretty big step in the direction, so we just got iron. I'm gonna get a iron pickaxe, because iron pickaxes are cool. Yeah, I feel like the Ravager was a step in the right direction. And also the Pigman Brute. I think that was a great idea on Mojang's part. And, so then, oh yeah, in order to get the thumbnails, I had to put the world on peaceful for 5 seconds. So, yeah, that's why I found it too long. I'll remember to get the thumbnails during the videos this time. Yeah, and then they announced the Warden, and like the Ravager is pretty powerful, and the Piglin Brute is also pretty powerful, and I like both of them because they're challenges to people with full netherite armor. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't faced them down in survival quite yet. Yeah, but oh, bones. I need to find more bones. I need to tame an army of dogs. Yeah, but either way, they announced a Warden, and like the Warden is one of the most exciting things to happen ever, because netherite is amazing. It's sheer awesomeness, but like netherite, it's kind of gotten to a point in which players are basically invincible, and the Ender Dragon is boring. Like my friend, he tells me one day, yeah, so I fought the Ender Dragon the other day. I had full netherite and stuff. It was actually pretty easy. It was a bit boring. And I don't know. I'm actually, when I go fight the Ender Dragon, unless it's buffed or whatever, I'm actually gonna have to just gonna have to wear diamond armor the way it was intended, or the way its power level intends. And I think that's pretty bad. So I got really excited when they announced a mob. Like a lot of the community was saying, oh well, not too much of the community. The people who were kind of lame were saying they didn't like the Warden because it was too powerful. But no, that's what I like about it. Because if you saw MINECON live, you'll notice that the Warden, it's this giant thing. Like it's like an iron golem, but it's thicker. It can hear you. When it's basically impervious to all attack. It can two-shot you in unenchanted netherite armor, which probably means a one-hit kill if you're in diamond armor like a normie. Actually, I'm gonna turn my sound down here. Yeah, and what I love about it is that it's okay. I'm just gonna turn my sound down here. And what I love about it so much is that even if you have netherite, it's still gonna obliterate you, and that's just wonderful in so many different ways. And And the snowballs, yes. Yeah, the snowballs, being able to distract it, beautiful. So I don't really know anything about the Deep Dark, and I don't really want to. But it's highly likely to me that Mojang will have to walk a fine line here because the Warden exists. It can two-hit kill you in full netherite, and it's basically impervious to all attack. The best defense is snowballs, and the Deep Dark where it lives, again, we don't know much about it, but we know that there's the Skulk, and the Skulk are wireless redstone, but also sensors. So, theoretically, what you could do with the Skulk in 1.17 is you could have the Skulk, and if it sensed you moving around, then it was open a trapdoor. I'm not entirely sure how you capture a warden. I'm sure it would be very difficult, but it would sense you and then open trap doors or whatever to drop a warden into the room. And then, even if you had netherite, you'd get punted. And I think that's wonderful. But the Skulk live in the Deep Dark. And the Deep Dark is going to be incredibly difficult. And so I'm not entirely sure what Mojang would put in it. Because that's the issue with the Deep Dark. Because it's so challenging and difficult and a little bit overpowered to some people. What the loot they're going to have to put in there is going to have to be equal to the amount of challenge. So, in 1.16, Mojang added a netherite armor, and then, like, in 1.16 they had to do that. And because the point in which the game had reached by 1.9 was that the best armor was diamond, but it's been diamond for so long that if you want to put good loot in something like the NCs, they have good loot, and what's the loot? Diamond armor. So what could you put in the other stuff? Because if you put loot on a really hard structure, and then it only drops more diamond armor, then it's like, well, what's the point of even going there? Because the diamond armor is so ridiculously easy to get at this point, from literally everything. And so, it's good that they added netherite, but now, and then in 1.16, first they allowed netherite to spawn in the Bastion remnants, which was just a bad idea. Like, they allow scraps and lodestones, scraps, ancient debris, and lodestones to spawn there, and that makes sense. That's good, because it fits the Bastion's level of challenge with the piglin brutes and whatever else. So, just had to go leave for something there, so I lost my train of thought. I believe I was on the end cities. Oh. 1 second. Oh, frame rate. Yeah. But either way, the end cities are some pretty good end game loot. So, but at the point in which the end cities were at, the end game loot, that was the end game loot. But it was basically what you would already have. So what was the point of going there? For shulker boxes, and don't get me wrong, shulker boxes are really good, but they aren't like, they're more of a utility item, I'd say, because you have to first place them, then take the stuff, then break them. It isn't the most convenient thing ever. It's way more convenient than some other things, but that was the issue with that, because the loot was, like, the functional loot, it wasn't actually the best. And the points in which the game was in is that you literally had, you couldn't put any better loot in it, because that was the maximum best stuff that existed. So then, Mojang was literally backed into a corner where they didn't want to break the Minecraft brand, where diamonds are the best, but they also kinda had to, because diamonds were literally everywhere, because nothing new was added for multiple years. When it comes to ores, because Mojang, to avoid it, to like sidestep the problem, Mojang first added the enchantment system. Like, the enchantment system, it's so creative. I love it so much. You can turn the best armor in the game into literal god armor. Like, have you seen the stuff Technoblade has on the Dream SMP? That armor is crazy. Like, yeah, and then also the majority of the issues with it just really came down to the fact that there was good armor and good enchantments, and at the time the good enchantments and good armor were getting slowly more and more widespread. And in 1.14 they added it so that you can just get like iron armor with protection directly from villagers, which is, it's a great trade, but that makes things like accessible on a level never before seen. And so in 1.16 they had to choose between diamond armor. Well, in 1.16 the game was in the state in which they needed a new tier of armor to upgrade diamond with, and I think that netherite was a brilliant idea, because it's diamond armor, but slightly better. So I really like that about it. But now we're reaching the issue of the Deep Dark. So in the Deep Dark, there has to be some sort of really good loot to justify killing a warden, killing or staving off a warden. And that a little bit more than the skulk, I feel, because the skulk, like, it's useful, but not functionally useful, and it would just be kind of lame if you literally fight off the most powerful beast in that Minecraft's seen for multiple years, and then you just get the skulk sensors. I feel like they just need something to add on to it, like a little bit of oomph. And I was thinking about this, and in my personal world, iron is a big issue, or it was, because I was at the point in which I mined all the iron, because I needed iron for literally everything, and I'd be doing that since the start of the world, so there wasn't any iron left anywhere near me. So, when the later game it got to the point in which I literally had to choose between mining iron for ridiculously long hours, wasting my time, or building an iron farm. Like, I have the opinion that I don't like villager slavery or trading halls or anything, but I was like, you have to make the decision between an iron farm or grinding. And in my case, I chose the iron farm just because I don't want to grind for iron. It's monotonous and it's boring, and it's so bad. No, it's not good. So I was thinking at the time, one time I remember I really wanted to add the moon, but I was wondering how, and I was wondering what its use would be. A lot of people were thinking about new ores and stuff, but you know what they did in the Nether with 1.16? The Nether basically became the new Badlands biome. Like, it's completely full, just absolutely full of gold ore. If you smelt it with Silk Touch, or if you Silk Touch it then smelt it, yes, it's a source of a gold ore, or just gold in general. For pretty darn cheap, it's easy too. And I was thinking, maybe that's what the moon could be for. It could just literally be an entire dimension where the ground, well, there's like moon rock and whatever. But I was thinking that there's like moon iron ore, or like compacted iron, and it's literally making up the bulk of the moon. Oh no 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 no! Oh no 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 no! No 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 no! I don't like those out. Anyways, so it was. That's my idea for the moon. Is that it could be lit in a dimension that's literally made out of iron. So if you went there, well, if you were on the moon and you started mining, then you could get obscene amounts of iron really easily, but it would have to be locked behind some sort of gateway. And I think that new dimension full of iron would work well, because just increasing iron spawn rates would make the start of the game a little bit too easy. So I was thinking about it more, and so the Deep Dark, the Mojang just added a new tier of weapon and tool and armor. So I was thinking, what if the Deep Dark could have iron, like obscene amounts of iron? And checked out, made a lot of sense. So maybe that's what they could do. But it's like iron's useful and all, but so for the people who are more business minded, I feel like it just needs something new, like that we haven't seen. But then that just brings up the issue, what could that be? And so far, we haven't exactly gotten it. Like, the cave update is changing a lot of things, and they're adding copper. But copper, it's useful for lightning rods, it's useful for copper blocks, and the copper blocks oxidize, which is really unique, and I like that. But the copper doesn't seem to have much, like, many other uses. And I was watching a Simply Sark video. You should definitely go watch his video about copper. And he basically proposed that there's something like the copper armor, and alone is completely useless, it's bad, it's the worst. But if you create giant paths made of copper, then you can conduct redstone. I mean, not redstone, electricity. And if your copper armor is linked up to that, then it can become supercharged. And you get a certain amount of charge, but you also get extremely good abilities with it. And I was thinking, that's a really, really good idea. And he also went on to make magnetic fields with a netherite block and things. Brilliant idea. Like, that's such a good idea. And I just felt like copper. Oh no. I don't entirely like you. I don't entirely like you. But anyways. Yeah, you suck, you will. They drop. Oh no. There we go. Okay, but either way, I feel like the copper ore and the new crystals are... I feel like the new crystals, like, they're good, but I feel like the crystals, they need a little bit of work in their utilization. And I just came up with this literally right now. So, what if the crystals, they can be used for telescopes. So, what if the crystals could be used to make actual working telescopes, like giant block telescopes? And so how that would work is that you build two crystal blocks or whatever, and they'd be spaced apart from each other. And the amount of distance that they're spaced apart would be proportional to how much they zoom in. And basically what it would do is it wouldn't load any chunks when you looked into it, but it would, when it was done, it would attempt to load up the chunks that were there and just take a picture and then unload them. And that could be used to spy on people, because it could be like one crystal thing for every, say, 50 or 100 blocks, and then you could build these giant telescopes to spy on things. And that would be honestly really good use of the crystals. But again, I'm not entirely sure how it would work. It's just an idea. And like the cave update, it needs to have new ores. But in the Q&A, the developer said that the only ore that's really the only ore that's really existing right now is copper. But again, copper is a little bit because it doesn't have that. It's unique and it has special properties that of course we'll use it for, but I still feel like something's just missing. So there's a new crystal geodes, and so one of my ideas for it, do not steal my ideas, just if you're watching, do not do it. But the crystal geodes, I was thinking, if there were different types of crystals, like they'd all have the same use or whatever, but different types of crystals would lead to some pretty cool things. And yeah, I really love the cave update. I really do. And it's just that they need to, well, something that they probably should do in this update is to address the iron problem, because that's a massive problem for many different people. And yeah, I'm sure Mojang can do it, because our last updates have been simply amazing. Just, wow, beautiful. Oh yeah, okay. And right after that we had stuff on Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Earth, and stuff that I didn't really care about. Oh, they had the Education Edition and Creator Tools, which were pretty cool. But then at the end, Mojang announced axolotls. And I love them. They're the wolves of the sea, and I think it's good that we have a tameable mob again. But the issue with them is that Mojang said that they didn't want to add sharks, and they said that because they didn't want to encourage people to kill them because they were misunderstood and things like that. But yet, directly after that, they added pandas, and they added bees, and now they're adding axolotls, which in the show they explicitly said that axolotls are endangered. So in a way it's a mixed bag. And yeah, another thing that happened was that the glow squid got in. Personally, I was on the side of the bloom shroom. That was literally just because of the new flower. I really want to to see the new flower. And so, but a lot of people are pretty mad about it, and I understand why. I was a bit sad by the news that the glow squid happened. But when you consider, you know those new local light levels, local water levels that they added with the new cave biomes? Those are awesome. But what would you put in them? And then I looked at the glow squid, and I was thinking, just thinking about it, the glow squid won't have dynamic lighting, of course, because, which is pretty lame, so it doesn't actually glow, but the glow squid inside of those new local water level caves would look extraordinary. It would look massively good. It would look awesome. And so in a way it does some good. But what would they use the glow squid for? So then there's another issue. And what else did they announce? I'm glad that the Iceologer didn't come to Minecraft, because it's basically just a carbon copy of that Yeti in the Hightail trailer. Like, what does it do? It chucks ice at you. So I feel like it's the same. And oh, archaeology. So one of those features that no one saw coming was archaeology, and it's very unfinished in its current state, but it looks pretty cool. But I think that it just needs a few things. So right now, archaeology can be used to gather blocks and items from sanding things down. I think that's great, and they should keep that. But the archaeology system, I feel like it's good for museums. Like, you could actually make legitimate museums with stuff you actually find in the world now, and I think that's cool. But in order to make museums, in order to make those things, I feel like they should add some new variants of weapons. So like the sword, I feel like they should add ancient variants of swords or whatever. And what they've done with the clay pots is they've made it so that you can effectively randomize how you put the ceramic shards onto the pot. And what if they could do that, except that you could find swords and weapons. So like whenever you would, instead of just enchanting a weapon to get a unique design on it, what if you could, when you could find weapons that look like these tools, except that they would have special randomized designs. So like you could find a sword that's a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, and they'd function basically just the same way as normal weapons with varied breakability, but each one, like these probably shouldn't be able to be crafted yet, but each and every one of the new tools and weapons and armors or whatever would have a little randomized set of extensions on it, like extra. So like for the axe, you could have an extra head or a bobble midway through, or this might have a stone thing at the bottom. Or your pickaxe might just be a straight pickaxe instead. And the reason for those is so that you could repair these things, and then they'd be enchantable, of course. And so the idea behind it is that it could be used as a different weapon type, and it also could be used as kind of like a more personal thing. Because like, say you're late on in the game, and I don't know, say you've gotten netherite and stuff. So, in these archaeology sites, you could find an ancient diamond sword. Instead of looking like this sword, it might have its hilt. Its hilt might be square. It might be just a square and its hilt might be made of gold or whatever. So now you could enchant this and repair it, and it would become a especially unique sword. And then, so that adds just a further degree of customization to the game. And so that's probably one of the features I'm most excited about. But I also watched Simply Stark's video on archaeology, and he had a really, really good idea for it. But I was thinking something different, where instead of auctioning it off, but another method that you use maybe instead of that is to instead use these pots. So each one of them could have like a specific, each pot is of course going to have a specific set of things on it. Like it's going to have a special set of markings depending on how you piece it back together. And so, if you were to piece it back together in certain ways, it could come up with special designs. And what if there were ruins in the world where you could place down these pots? Like they'd have a pedestal, and you would place down the pots on the pedestal, and depending on what type of pot it is, it would open certain things in exchange that the pot has to stay there. So they'd be almost like ancient keys. And that's what you could use a lot of your pots for. How are there two children? No. I don't. Ouch. No, I'm not dying to children. No, they're bad. They're bad and ugly and they suck. They used to not burn in sunlight too, but they're just bad now, they suck. No. No, I'm level 9. Oh, no. That's exactly what I didn't want. No. Oh, get in the water. This is smart. Get away. Get away, toddlers. No, you're bad. No, you're bad. Oof. Bit spooky. So yeah, so this area is nice cleared out now. I just need to find some spiders, because phantoms exist, and I do not want to be destroyed by their hands. I don't want to get punted, so this is a promising way. It's just it's up here. Cow. Oh, cool. Oh, no, not cool. No. Damn it! Computer glitched out. Why? Of course I had to take all of my iron tools with me. No skeleton, you're bad. Ow, no skeleton, you're bad. Can't aim, you're bad, skeleton. No, you're bad. Skeleton, you're so bad, stop trying. So it's a different skeleton. Poop zombie, or poop man. Okay, yeah. Whoa. Okay, I'll explore that after I find my stuff first. Why does your... Every time I die, all the stuff, it just scatters. Okay. Oh. This is really nice. Oh, that's a naturally spawning stalagmite. It's like that new cave biome, the dripstone caves. Ah, you know, this should be... Let me survey this area a little bit more. I have the best timing. Most useless feature. What are you? Are you tameable? Yeah, you're like a horse, but you suck. You're bad. This will be the site of one of our villages. Village directly underneath it. My skeleton are so bad. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't entirely like that. Oh, I don't entirely like that. I don't entirely like that either. No. The armies of the undead. No. No, skeleton, you're bad. Skeleton, you're bad. Okay, come on. Come on, no, I don't want to get punted. No, I'm getting punted. No. Okay. I'm safe. Drop string. What a lame spider. Oh, this is a nice forest. Creeper, oh no. Creeper, oh man. Swear, that's what I meant. Actually, that cliff looks pretty majestic. Wow. Wow. Whoa. This is actually pretty cool. That's a really nice formation. Honestly, one of the best mountain biomes I've seen in a while. Booby train! There's our realm. I'm so excited for 1.17 when goats are gonna punt me directly off of mountains. Do you know goats do that now? They punt you off of mountains. I'm excited to get punted off of mountains by goats. Scrub them. What's that? What's a wandering trader? It's a wandering trader. Wandering trader, my good boy. Indulge me, my good boy. What do you have on me? What kind of trades are those? What kind of trades are these? Dumb. No, you're bad, and your llamas are bad too. I got clipped multiple times. Now that's a cool feature. It's like you giving the llamas hugs, and it's like they're purring like a cat because it's constant. It's like, look at this, it looks like I'm killing it. I am basically killing it if I go up to it in third person. First person. It looks like I'm cutting it. How does that work? It doesn't, but it's logic, video game logic. You could say that video games have it doesn't count in this situation. Alright, so I don't have anything else to talk about, and if you're still watching, then that's commendable, because you're still watching. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do anything off camera because I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything off camera in this. And guess I gotta get the thumbnail. Gotta get the thumbnail somehow. Okay. Can I walk close to this house? Okay. And then screenshot. Alright. Nice. Okay. That's the thumbnail. Goodbye.